My name is Jasmine. I have been abandoned and am broken, and this is my story. To many, I seem young and naive. Often, I can tell that people don't expect me to have many difficulties or problems. I seem to have everything put together, and my life is going great. This is partially true. My life is going great, but I don't have everything put together. My journey to get where I am today takes about 18 years to describe, but I'll try to fit it in 10 minutes. I was abandoned when I was 2 days old and left on the doorstep of an orphanage in China. But my birth family was probably giving me a better chance at life, and I was adopted at 11 months by an American family of 3. We were the picture of a thriving Christian family. We went on vacations and mission trips, and we were active in our church and community while living in Southern California. I was close to my grandparents and loved by those who met me. I didn't know what was happening behind those happy scenes, which would tear my family apart and would end my blissful childhood. My father left my mother, sister, and me for another woman from China. Then he would be sporadically in and out of my life for the rest of my life. My mother was broken, and I was too young to understand the emotional effect it had on my soul and mind. After my father left, my mother packed the house and left California for Oregon to a place where she grew up. I was 6 at the time and started first grade at a new school. I was able to make friends and in general be able to move through life. But inwardly, I struggled with feeling unworthy of love. I had an acute sense of abandonment by those who were supposed to love me. Throughout my elementary and middle school years, I was bullied at school and emotionally and mentally abused at home. I was depressed and I didn't know how to get help. During middle school year, I tried to commit suicide 3 times, but God stopped me with his love. How? Well, as I was holding the bottle of pills I was trying to overdose on, when I felt this tangible love. In that moment, the lack of love that I had for myself was filled and overflowing with the love of God that he had for me. This felt like being enveloped in warmth, and I sobbed, but I couldn't continue with my plan. After this experience, I didn't tell anyone around me that I was struggling with depression and had many other frustrations. My behavior changed, and I stopped caring about anything. I had told my doctor, and she diagnosed me with clinical depression, putting me on antidepressants. These made me feel numb. I didn't feel sad, but I also didn't feel happy either. During this time, I was a relatively functioning human, where most people didn't know that I was struggling inwardly. Slowly, I quit doing anything: school, music, hanging out with friends. I stayed in my little dark room, trying to shut everything and everyone out. I was tired of pretending to be okay in front of people. Thankfully, I had parents who loved me and knew that they couldn't help me, so they decided to send me to a boarding school 12 hours away. At that point in my life, I could honestly say I hated my family, and I blamed them for the hurt I felt. Looking back, if they would have died, I would not have cared. So when they said I was going to leave, I jumped at the chance and started packing right away. I wanted to escape from my life and my past. The boarding school was a teen challenge facility where there's approximately 8 to 20 girls at any point in time. While at the boarding school, I was able to focus on myself and to heal with the help of the Holy Spirit. I learned many lessons, and in brief, I'll tell you about 5 of them. 1, I need to let people to learn their lessons the hard way at times. This means I can't control them. 2, I need to surrender everything to God. That means my hopes and fears, my dreams and my past, my pain and my joy. All that I am, was, and is was to be given to him. 3, I was broken, but God made me beautiful. 4, I had been given grace, and now I need to extend that grace to others. The hardest and most profound lesson I learned was about my attitude towards my parents. It was about month 10 of 15 that I was there that I asked to work on honoring my parents. I knew I didn't treat them as God wanted me to. So I was given a book called The Forgotten Commandment by Dennis Rainey. The main lesson was, God commanded that a person should honor and respect his or her parents, and she or he will be blessed. At first, I just worked hard just to obey God. But as I progressed, I began to change, and at the end, I realized I loved my parents. While I was depressed, I also struggled with my faith. And at one point, I declared myself agnostic, because I knew that there was a capital S someone, but I didn't want to call him God. As I grew, I became to the undeniable truth that there is a God, and that he sees me. I want to end with a note of encouragement. To put simply, life sucks. But there is a better future. It may feel really far off, but with the help of God, you too can be found in love. So let me introduce myself again. Hi, my name is Jasmine. I am a child of God who loves me and wants me. I have been broken, but he made me beautiful.